Hi everyone, I'm Hessie Jones and welcome to Tech Uncensored. We are here at Collision Day 2 and I'm happy today to speak with Turing, is it Turing Talent Cloud founder, Jonathan Siddharth. Thank you, Jonathan, for being with me today. So Turing Cloud is an AI-powered tech services company. So before we get started, I want you to tell me all about your company.
Thank you, Hessie. So the company is Turing, and Turing.com is where you can find us. So Turing, Hessie, has this mission of using AI to unleash the world's untapped human potential. Right? So we're doing that by building the world's first AI-powered tech services company. We believe AI transformation is the new digital transformation. Every company is going to have to be an AI company. And I'm sure in Collision, as you're meeting C-suite execs from every Fortune 500 company, you're hearing the same, where every company now needs an AI strategy. Every product is now an AI product. Every role is being transformed by AI. And at Turing, we started the company because traditional tech services firms were simply not built for this. They do manual sourcing, vetting of talent, they do manual matching, and they even do what I would call manual coding. And Turing is tech services reimagined from the ground up as an AI company. So we asked ourselves, what would an AI powered Accenture look like? Right? And we're doing that in three unique ways. The first is using AI to automatically source, vet, and match the right talent to the right opportunity. The second is what we call Turing GPT, where we're using AI to accelerate the productivity of a software engineering team. And we combine that with our team of AI transformation experts who help companies in their transformation journey. So Turing works with clients like Disney, Johnson Johnson, Rivian, and many, over 1,000 companies that we worked with so far. And they work with Turing in three unique ways. The first is staff augmentation, where they come to Turing and take vetted engineering talent from us. The second is in engineering services. So if a company has like an AI project or an AI initiative that they want to build, we give them a full-formed team that's then built for time. And we've also recently launched our AI advisory services, where we help companies think through their AI strategy and roadmap. And all of this is built on top of our Turing Talent Cloud, which is a talent cloud of 2 million developers. So Turing is the world's largest developer-focused talent cloud, and we're growing by about 80,000 developers a month. So with this, on top of this talent cloud, we are then using AI to find the right talent, vet the right talent, and match them with companies.
Great. So before we get into some of the nitty gritty about your solution
Yeah.
and your platform, tell us about your journey to touring. Like what was your background? What led you to doing what you're doing today?
Yeah. So I grew up in Chennai, India, and I was always fascinated by neural networks. So I published my first research paper in AI like when I was in my sophomore year, which was about using neural networks for self-driving cars. And this was like in 2002 or so. And after finishing college, like I was looking to see where I could do research in AI, and Stanford seemed like the place to do it. Like Stanford was ahead in autonomous driving. So I came to Stanford originally to do my PhD, and at Stanford I met my co-founder VJ, and we both got bitten by the startup bug, and we started company number one, which was an AI-powered content recommendation company. So that was the first company that I started out of grad school, and for that company, the hardest thing that we found was recruiting great engineering talent, right? And we are in the heart of Silicon Valley, in Palo Alto. And when you're building a tech company in Palo Alto, and you must know this from your time at Yahoo, it's just so hard to find great engineers because everybody's fighting for the same limited talent pool, like Google, Yahoo, Microsoft, Facebook. They're all fishing in the same limited pool. So one of the best things that we did in my first company was the decision to look beyond Silicon Valley for Silicon Valley caliber talent. And we did it out of necessity. This was 2012, right? Like the remote work was not a thing. But we looked for these, we were fortunate to work with some wonderful engineers from Poland, Canada, India, China, and other parts of the world. And that was really key to making the company successful. So my first startup succeeded because of remote work and distributed teams. So after that company had a successful acquisition, I took some time off and I was figuring out what I wanted to do next. And it became clear that this problem that we had solved for ourselves in my first startup was really like such a big unsolved opportunity. So I teamed up with my co-founder again, and we started Turing in 2018 with the goal of building this AI-powered tech services company where both Fortune 500 companies as well as startups could push a button to spin up their engineering team instantly, with AI being used for automatically vetting engineering talent, matching them, and now we are thinking about ways to use AI to increase the productivity of a software engineering team. Um, I just feel fortunate that Turing benefited from two tailwinds. The first was the tailwinds around remote work, and now it's the tailwinds around AI.
Okay, so you're not a recruiting company. You actually all these engineers are contractors to Turing. So from your perspective, like, is there less of a demand to outright hire an engineer as opposed to actually just place them for a specific project or specific work term?
So my view is that the best way to build a tech company today is for 20 to 40% of your engineering headcount to be powered by long-term, full-time contractors, from a platform like Turing. Right? And I wouldn't say you should do that for 100% of your engineering headcount, but 20 to 40%. And there are some studies that say that it should maybe even be 50%, right? Um, the benefit of this is speed and flexibility. For example, Hesse, imagine you were building an AI company, like a co-pilot for journalists, say. Um, and let's say you wanted to build like an iPhone app, an Android app, and a web app. Now, the old way of doing that would be maybe you have budget for one engineer. It might be to find one amazing unicorn engineer and have that engineer build all three in sequence, right? But you don't have to do that anymore. You could come to Turing and say, hey, Turing, I'm going to need to launch this on iOS, Android, and the web. So you'll take three engineers from Turing's Talent Cloud. They're building all three in parallel, right? And once they are launched very quickly, let's say in 3 months you've launched it all on all three, you decide that the iOS app is where you have product market fit. Maybe that works really well. You could use Turing to double down on iOS. Maybe you hire like another Swift engineer, like another backend engineer, and you can wind down Android and web, right? Because you don't want to invest. Maybe you put it in maintenance mode. So building on top of the talent cloud gives you that flexibility to scale up your engineering team, scale it up, scale it down, as easily as scaling up servers on AWS.
Okay. So you're basically saying just optimize your dollars for engineering, which is usually the most expensive
Yep.
part of the headcount for a
Correct.
lot of companies. So let's talk about where you are today, because I want to talk about the raise
Yeah.
that you've gotten significantly, just recently. So tell me about that, and congratulations, by the way, and what are the use of funds for that raise, and what you plan on doing in the next 2 to 5 years.
Thank you, Hesse. So, regarding the raise, so Turing is the fastest growing tech services company in the world. We've grown tremendously quickly, and so we've partnered with some wonderful investors. Our most recent round was raised at a 4 billion valuation cap on a safe, and prior to that, we raised our last round at a 1.1 billion post. And these are investors. The investors are Westbridge, which was formerly Sequoia India, which is a $7 billion fund. They deeply understand tech services. They were investors in Cognizant, GlobalLogic, etc. And Foundation Capital, one of the top AI funds in Silicon Valley. They were investors in Uber, Netflix, Solana, Jasper, and others. And Greenspring Associates, which is an investor in almost every top Silicon Valley venture fund that you can imagine. And they like to invest in like the best companies off their venture funds. And we've raised in total about 144 million. So the funds are going to be primarily used for growth. So we are fortunate in that Turing is very efficient, and we are fortunate to be in a position where if we wanted to, we wouldn't have to raise another round after this.
Right.
And we'll kind of decide like what we want to do. But these are going to be, we're going to invest the funds to um, further accelerate our R&D in improving the accuracy of our AI-powered vetting and matching engine. We are also starting to build an AI-powered self-serve system where somebody could come and build their engineering team by talking to Turing in terms of what they're trying to build. And we're super excited about that. And AI accelerated delivery. So we are speeding up the productivity of every software engineer, product manager, data scientist who's as part of a Turing team. So a Turing team is like this team that's accelerated by an AI-powered exoskeleton, right? And beyond that, it's sales and marketing. Like we are stepping on the gas with growth, um, and uh, we are building this AI-powered Accenture, but we're still pretty early in our journey. Like Accenture's been around for decades, it's great to be in a big and growing market.
Okay. So if I was an engineer, um, how would I access your services?
Yeah. So if you're an engineer anywhere in the world, you should go to Turing.com and start getting vetted. So Turing has automated vetting for every role you can imagine, like front end, back end, mobile, AI, data science, DevOps, etc. Every tech stack you can imagine. For example, if it's a back end developer, you could specialize in Python, Django, Node, etc. And every seniority level, like an individual contributor, tech lead manager, etc. Our vetting is very efficient, so you don't have to spend a lot of time. It's also fun to go through Turing's vetting and figure out what you're good at and what could be good growth opportunities for you. And once you're vetted, yeah, we'd match you with some of our clients that include Disney, Johnson& Johnson, Coinbase, Rivian, and all these amazing Silicon Valley product companies. If you're an engineer, Turing is the best place in the world for you to grow your career. And we want to use our AI to help you maximize your compensation and your opportunities. I feel like I mean, 20 years ago, to really grow as an engineer, you had to be in Silicon Valley, between San Francisco to San Jose, right? And now we live in this wonderful world powered by AI and remote work where it doesn't matter what zip code you're born in or where you grow up, it's possible to work in Silicon Valley without needing to live in Silicon Valley. And I think that's going to be wonderful for engineers all over the world. And Turing's excited to help these engineers realize their potential. And what motivates us is to use AI to amplify human productivity, right? And which is a lot of fun.
So one last question. Um, as the technology evolves, and as you know, generative AI is here, and when this transforms, there's going to be new languages that may come up. There could be, as you know, as an engineer,
Yeah.
people have to keep learning all the time.
Yeah.
So the future of work is going to be dependent on the technologies that we create today.
Yeah.
What is your view on the role of the engineer in the next 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, I think there's never been a better time to be a software engineer or get into computer science. I think computer science and AI specifically should be taught at the middle school level. Like, as you're learning English, mathematics, and basic computer science, I think AI should also be taught at that time. I think the ROI to be a software engineer is now 10x of what it used to be, because every software engineer is going to be 10x more productive. And this means that we're going to see an entrepreneurial explosion in the coming years. It used to be like 10 years ago that to build a startup, maybe you needed a really strong, experienced engineer along with some other business folks. Now it's possible, like, let's say there is a really talented journalist, right? She could start her AI company standing on the shoulders of some of these AI assisted tools. I think what it's going to do is I think junior engineers will grow a lot faster. Our head of engineering feels that it's possible now for a junior engineer to operate at the level of a mid-level engineer and a mid-level engineer to operate at the level of a senior engineer. So AI is just going to amplify the productivity of everyone. And the key to all of this is everyone learning AI to at least at a basic level. And every job is now going to be an AI job. Um, and the exciting thing about all of this is, I think the tools are just getting better and better. At Turing, we already see a productivity boost of like about 30% using some of these AI accelerated tools. I'm just excited for where all of this leads.
Yes. Thank you so much. And I have a feeling that you might end up having another function within your business to actually start training your engineers on all these new tools that are coming up. So thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Hesi.
Okay.
And do check out Turing.com if you're a developer or a company that wants to hire developers.
Okay, thank you. And we'll be right back.